What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another prediction video. This week, I'm going to be breaking down UFC Vegas 65, Lewis versus Spivak. Decent cards, got 13 decent fights on it. I found some decent spots that I really like on this card, some good money lines. Haven't had a chance to see any over-unders yet. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be a really good card. Before we get into that, we're going to do a quick recap of UFC 281, Adesanya versus Pereira. And yeah, man, it was a crazy night. I couldn't believe it when Izzy got stopped. You know, he was winning most of that fight. I think he's a better fighter than Pereira. Pereira's a really good fighter, but Pereira is just huge, man. I think he's just too big for Izzy, to be honest. Even on a rematch, we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty good card. I went 3-3 on my bets for plus 1.45 units. So that's another winning week, 2 in a row. Quote, 2 in a row should be 10, but 2 will take it. My 3 winning bets, I had Dustin Poirier plus 1.9 units. And man, he is a soldier, dude. Dustin Poirier is the definition of a fighter. That fight was crazy from start to finish. I'm glad he came through with the win there. It was very important for me. Second winning bet was super easy. Renato Moicano, also known as Moicano, wants money. Plus 2 units, man. He looked phenomenal. Like I said, the stand-up was going to be even, or even Moicano, I mean, looked better, obviously, in the ground. Wasn't even going to be close. Third winning bet was my lock of the card, Ryan Spann, under 1.5. And, man, that hit easy. That hit so easy. It was awesome. 3 losing bets, man. I took 3 dogs of plus 175 or more on this card, and yeah, it didn't pay off at all. I didn't even hit one of them. 3 losing bets. Frankie Edgar minus 2 units, and man, you know, we didn't even get to see how that fight really would have played out. He just got hit with the ding near the same knee that Sandhagen hit him with. Second losing bet, I don't feel as bad about this. Wellington Turman fought for my money. It was a close fight. It looked like in the second round he was starting to take over. I thought he won the first round, even though the judges had it at like 30-27s for 2 of them. But I thought he won the first, and the second was close until Petrosky stole it at the end, and then Turman just gassed out. Petrosky actually showed he's tougher than I thought, man. He has better cardio. He'll fight through stuff. And then Julio Arce, man, yeah, he got dropped in that third round. It was close to that. But, yeah, it is what it is. I can give you a spoiler alert. I will not have 3 plus 175 or more favorites on this next card. I probably won't have any or underdogs. So, but, yeah, man, that brings my official bet record to 166 and 119 for plus 63.15 units. We're just going to keep growing that every week, every single week, add on to it, get up to 100, go from 100 to 200, 200 to 300, and so on. And as I get more units, I'm going to be betting bigger like I'm doing this week, and we're going to add to it even quicker. But, yeah, man, overall, that was a pretty good card. I liked it. I was shocked. The Weili Zhang, obviously, she looked really, really good. She's going to be a force to reckon with within that division for a while. But I think that the Poirier fight, that was probably the fight of the night, even though Adesanya and Pereira probably could have maybe stole it, which is crazy to have that many good fights on one card. But yeah, man, it was a really good fight, really good card. Let's get into UFC Vegas 265. First fight of the night that I have wrote down. Or actually, before we do this real quick, I'm very sorry. Please, everybody, take the time right now to like this video, subscribe to this video. Check me out on Instagram at Blood Money MMA Bets and Twitter at Blood Money MMA Bets, because that's where you're going to find all my bets early before my official bets video. I drop 1 bet a day, and you can get them as I drop them. But yeah, please hit the like and subscribe button. It's at least you can do for Mr. Pay-Per-View, man. Mr. Pay-Per-View came, showed out again. I'm going to go check back through my videos eventually, but I don't think I've lost on a pay-per-view, and to be honest. Baby Blood, she went 2-1 on her picks. She had Wele, Pereira, and then she had Riddell. She's 10-3 in her last 3 weeks, man, which is pretty crazy. Kyle Houch, Houck, he won the contest this week. He won the Grant Dawson and the James Krause auto. He had Nurmagomedov, Poirier, and Pereira for plus 687. So awesome parlay with that. Hit me up in my Twitter or my Instagram, whatever you got, and give me your address and stuff, and I'll send it out. I'll get it sent out for you. congratulations on that. We have a week off coming up. We're gonna have Thanksgiving, so I want to wish everybody a early happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you definitely the week after. I might try to do some type of live show and just talk over some stuff. I'm sure me and Johnny K Picks would do our show. Look for our show on Wednesday also. And last and not least, rest in peace, Anthony Rumble Johnson, man. Heard the news today, and it's super sad. Enjoyed watching all his fights. He was one of the most feared strikers to ever get in that cage. So, yeah, man, that sucks. Rest in peace to freaking Rumble Johnson, man. All right, let's get into this UFC Vegas 65. First fight that I have is Chase Sherman versus Waldo Cortes. These might not be in the same order, but they switched them up on me. Chase Sherman is 16-10, currently sitting at plus 170. Waldo Cortes is 8-0, currently sitting at minus 200. They're both around the same age, both around the same weight, and their height and reach is exactly the same. This is going to be a scrap. It's a weird fight. Waldo Cortes just fought about 3 weeks ago, and it's weird that he's fighting again this quick because he really got his leg chewed up in that fight. Chase Sherman, man, good boxing. You've seen him in the UFC with good boxing. You've seen him TKO Jared Van Der in his last fight. He's been in bare knuckle. He's got powerful body and leg kicks, man, which is what's going to help him in this fight, because like I said, I thought Waldo Cortes, I had the over in the Van Der Cortes fight, and I thought he was going to get stopped by leg kicks in that second round. And there's no way your leg can be healed up fully in 3 weeks, and then he's a boxer, so he's going to need that. But Chase Sherman has super fast hands. He has an improved head movement. It looked pretty good in the Van Der fight. He's finished 8 of his last 9 opponents, all KO. He's very tough and durable unless he's fighting up a class, like up a level, and because he's fought some good dudes in UFC, but this ain't that. This is not up a level. Waldo Cortes-Acosta. I like his boxing. Obviously, that's what he's got. He's had some professional boxing, had some losses in that, but he's got good boxing with fast hands. He's got pretty good power. He pumps a jab out a lot to set up his combos. Powerful straight right and overhand right. You've seen him crack Van Der with it a couple times, but he wasn't able to get him out of there. Really dangerous when he throws in combo, but he can be low output, and that's like a big problem. But he's very tough and very durable. You've seen when he was taking them giant leg kicks against Van Der, he just like screaming, like, oh, just yelling. But yeah, man, he just got his leg and calf beat up 3 weeks ago. He doesn't check leg kicks. He's low output. He only has boxing. And I thought Van Der had a chance to win that fight, and we've seen what Chase Sherman did to him. So I'm going to be taking my boy Chase Sherman in this fight, and I think he can get the finish. I think he kicks just as hard, and if not better, than Van Der. And I think we already seen the blueprint of how to at least get close to beating this guy. And I think Chase Sherman's better than Van Der. I think Chase Sherman to pull this out. Probably won't have any bets on this fight, but yeah, man, give me Chase Sherman by TKO at some point in this fight. He's the more well-rounded fighter too, anyways. But yeah, it should be a good fight. This next fight, man, this should be a banger. We got Jack Della Maddalena versus Danny Roberts. Jack Della is 12-2, currently sitting at minus 450. Danny Roberts is 18-6, currently sitting at plus 340. And yeah, JDM, man, Jack Della Maddalena is a beast. You seen him in his last fight with Ramazan. Got caught in a front choke real quick, but then was able to get out of that and hurt him really bad with a body shot, and got him out of there in the first round, which is hard to do. He's hard to finish. Excellent boxing with power. He's got really nice body kicks. He puts on good pressure. You seen in the Pete Rodriguez fight, just having a really good pressure, walking forward, walking guys down, good head movement, and then just throwing power with both hands. His jab's phenomenal. He constantly pumps it out there. He's got 11 KO wins out of his 12 wins. But he's got I just like the pressure he puts on guys. I like how he's backing up Rodriguez in that fight. And you've seen Rodriguez, he likes to come forward, and he was able to come forward on Michael Jackson all day. But big difference with Jack Della. He hits so hard with his left hand to the body or the head. He works the head or the body with kicks and punches. I love everything about this kid. Like, he's really tough. He seems well-rounded, good grappling, offensive and defensive, and he's only 26 years old, man. I really like this kid. He's got a bright future. You've seen he can be taken down. He got taken down on the Ultimate Fighter, kind of reversed on the Contender Series by Lusa, and he was taken down by Amiv once, but good get up game, really good cardio, and just hits really hard. Danny Roberts, this guy's been in the UFC for a long time. He's 35 years old. He's got good boxing. He's actually got decent offensive and defensive grappling. decent kicks, you know, really good clinch knees and elbows. He's really got really good movement, fast feints and all that, but we're in the small cage, so he's not going to be able to really use that. And that's going to come into a couple of these fights tonight is this small cage. His kicks up the middle are really good with both legs, but this guy he just has no chin, man. He's 35 years old. He's been KO'd bad 3 times, and he gets hurt way too much. You've seen Trinaldo hurt him a whole bunch of times in that fight. Yeah, man, he can beat real low level guys, but he is not going to beat Della Maddalena. The only way he has a chance is if he could somehow out wrestle Jack for 3 rounds. But other than that, man, Jack's going to be landing hard shots, and he's probably going to get him out of there, to be honest. I think he gets him out of there. I really like Jack in that, and I really like Jack by the finish and sometime in the first 2 rounds. Next fight is in the women's flyweight division, and this is going to be a great fight. I mean, both of these, this is like, it's almost weird they're having these 2 girls fight because they're both so good, and they're both giant prospects, in my opinion. We got Natalia Silva, 13-5, currently sitting at -185. We got Tereza Bleeda, 6-0, currently sitting at +150. And look at the height advantage and reach advantage here. You got Bleeda is going to be 5 inches taller with 6 inches of reach, man, which is, you know, that's huge in MMA. But Natalia's last fight with Jasmine Jasdervicius, she was able to fight a taller girl, stop the takedowns. This fight's going to be so good, I promise. But I'm gonna actually take Natalia Silva in this. I think that Natalia Silva is going to have a giant speed advantage, a giant striking advantage, and even a power advantage on the feet. Man, you've seen her cracking Jasdervicius. She had her face beat up. She dropped it, like hurt her a couple times. Showed phenomenal takedown defense in that fight. Improved. We hadn't seen no tape on her in about 3 years, and just showed it. She was actually doing judo tosses on Jasmine. Showed great takedown defense, great cardio, phenomenal striking, man. And Bleeda, this is going to be such a good fight. I wouldn't bet on this fight, and it should be more closer to even money with these girls, to be honest. But Bleeda, man, is huge. She has good wrestling. The difference in her wrestling and the Jasmine Jasdervicius wrestling is Jazz was trying to do all like body locks up above. Bleeda likes to get girls to the cage, go down low towards the calves and ankles, and grip the hands there and the knees and get the takedown. So it's going to be different. So maybe she can land them, but man, this is going to be such a good fight. I'm telling you, both of these girls are going to be problems in this division for a long time. One's 25, one's 20. What I'm going to say here is, like I said, I think that Silva is going to be able to stop these takedowns. I think she's going to be able to use her movement, her speed to be able to piece up Bleeda, hit her with the leg kicks, the body kicks, the front kicks. And as long as she can stop the takedown, she can win. She can even get on top. But man, this is going to be a scrap. It should be even money. And it would be tough to bet on this. And I don't see no problem with anybody taking the underdog in Bleeda. But if she can't get this fight to the ground, she is going to get pieced up on the feet. I've watched some of her other fights. She had a weird fight with Lucy Poldova where they fought in like this weird rules fight where they do stand up, but then they go get takedown. She took her down. She took Poldova down like 13 times, but as soon as they would hit the ground, they would stand them up. And then Poldova, like Bleeda, started gassing out. But I just don't think she's going to be able to get her down. Silva showed phenomenal defense. So give me Natalia Silva in a very, very close fight. That could, though, there could be a finish in this. Silva could finish her standing, or Bleeda could get on top of her and finish her. So you might want to look at the under too, but I won't be betting that fight at all. But it's going to be a good fight. Next fight is a replacement fight. We got Miles Johns versus Vince Morales. Vince Morales was supposed to fight Jose Johnson, and Jose Johnson withdrew. So now we got Miles Johns coming in. We haven't seen Miles Johns for a little bit, but he's good. He's 12-2, currently sitting at -145. Vince Morales is 11-6, currently sitting at +115. And yeah, man, this should be a good fight. But I got Miles Johns in this all day. I just really think that he's better every single aspect of fighting. I think he has more power. I think he has better boxing, better kicks, better leg kicks. He has better wrestling, better jiu-jitsu. I really do think he's better everywhere as long as he doesn't gas out and get caught, which if you look, I mean, Vince Morales ain't all that dangerous. You know what I mean? The guy's 11-6. He did knock out Luis Smoka, but he just caught him. Luis Smoka was just like going nuts, throwing punches and had no defense and just got caught. But other than that, you see he's not really finishing anybody early in his career. But look, decision, Hugo, decision. Zahabi, all that. I really in Draco, it was a terrible loss too. But man, I really think that Miles Johns is better everywhere. I think that he's going to be able to get his wrestling going, get some takedowns, and even if he slow, because Miles sometimes slows down in the third round, but that's when people are putting really crazy pressure on him. But I don't think he's going to be that worried about Vince Morales' power or anything to where he's going to have to back up and get pressured like he did against Castaneda or Batista. Yeah, man, I think that Miles John gets kind of dominant victory here, gets back in the winning column, and gets on track, man. He's still young. What is he? He's 28 years old. Bautista, he's a savage, so people's gonna lose to him. But man, like what he did to Anderson Dos Santos, I think he could do here. I think he can do here to Vince Morales, man. Vince Morales, like I said, just decent boxing, decent takedown defense, decent overhand right. And other than that, he just beats people that don't belong in the UFC. And I think Miles Johns belongs in the UFC. So give me Miles Johns there by a 3-round decision. Maybe he could get the finish, but Morales is pretty tough. I think he only got finished by them leg kicks from Gutierrez. Next fight, we have Fernie Garcia versus Brady Hiestand. Fernie Garcia is 10-2. Okay, well, they got the lines mixed up here. Fernie Garcia is 10-2. He's currently sitting at plus 125. He's the underdog. Brady Hiestand is 5-2, and he is currently sitting at minus 150. This is going to be a decent fight. Like Fernie Garcia, man, I'm going to tell you, I'm not impressed with this kid. He's got pretty good boxing with fast hands. Decent jabs and hooks, pretty good counter punching, like pretty good. But other than that, he's very one-dimensional. He's not all that good. Like if you look at him, if you look at his wins, well, they're like most of them are like split decisions. Like, look, he lost to Journey Newsom where he got dominated for 3 rounds by Journey Newsom. He got his win, and one of his only finish right there was to Weems on the Contender Series. And if you go watch that fight, it was terrible. Weems gave up. He didn't even get hit hard. But other than that, look at this. He had 5 decisions in a row, and 3 of them were split. And he's going to split with a guy 9-6. He's going to split with a guy 3-4. He's going to split with a guy 3-2 that he lost, and that was only 3 years ago. So, man, I'm not impressed with this kid at all, man. He's one-dimensional boxer with no power. His only knockout was over Weems, who's one of the worst fighters the UFC's had, man. Because Weems came in against Christian Rodriguez and got beat up. Damn it. These motherfuckers with the thing. With these ads. All right, but yeah, I like Brady Hiestand, man. Relentless wrestling, good at crashing in the pocket, getting the clinch, getting the takedown. He chains his wrestling when a guy is clinched against the cage. Good BJJ and good at taking the back. He could take a whole round from Fernie just by getting him down one time, and he's relentless. He'll shoot 10 takedowns in a fight. Good BJJ, good at taking the back, puts a pace and pressure on guys that most people can't handle. He almost broke. He went back and forth with Ricky Turcios, man. His fight on the Ultimate Fighter, the Ultimate Fighter House with Josh Rittenhouse was phenomenal. His win over Josh Rittenhouse, dude, is way better than Fernie Garcia. Rittenhouse would work Fernie Garcia. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So yeah, man, I think that Brady Hiestand wrestles the crap out of Fernie. Fernie even got a little tired against Journey Newsom. I'm taking Brady Hiestand. I think he gets a dominant decision, 3-round decision, and the odds aren't even too bad on that. Next fight is in the women's division. We got Maryna Moroz versus Jennifer Maia, and man, this is going to be a really good women's fight. Jennifer Maia is 19-9-1, currently sitting at plus 150. She's 34 years old. Maryna Moroz is 11-3, currently sitting at minus 175. She's 31 years old. Maryna Moroz is going to be 3 inches taller with 3 inches of reach, training out of American Top Team. She's looked phenomenal. Jennifer Maia, though, decent boxing with both hands, pretty fast head kick and body kick. Very durable. She's only been finished once, and if you go watch that, it was back in the day, and this girl sucker punched her she got finished in 10 seconds, and they went to go touch gloves, and this girl sucker punched her and knocked her out. But yeah, man, she's got a pretty good power in her left hook, pretty good footwork and feints, decent offensive wrestling. She's a black belt in BJJ, but she can be taken down, held down if she doesn't hit the sub, which she only hit the sub against JoJo Wood. Other than that, these other girls, even Chukagian, Farrow, Shevchenko, they were able to take her down, hold her down. Wood took her down, but she just got armbarred. But she went on a terrible run, man. But yeah, she can be taken down and controlled. She's 34 years old. She never really moves forward, just circles back. Terrible takedown defense, like the worst. And should be 1-5 in her last 6, because I thought Jessica I could have won that fight. I thought she might have won that fight. So she could be 0-4 and then 1-5 in her last 6. I really thought Jessica I had a chance to win that fight. Maryna Moroz, man, she's from Ukraine. She's a Ukraine national boxing champ. Really nice boxing with volume. Really nice top control and ground and pound. She has nice, powerful leg and calf kicks, good offensive and defensive wrestling. She's really strong. She grabs girls and takes them down. She did that with Agapova here, and arm triangled her in the second round. And what really impressed me, dude, I don't even feel like this shit usually does that when I'm looking at topology until I'm doing this. What really impressed me was that win over Mayra Silva, man. She was able to take her down and control her for the first 2 rounds, stay safe. And Silva, to me, jiu-jitsu is way more dangerous than Jennifer Maia. To me, Moira Silva is way more dangerous in general and a better fighter than Maia. She comes forward, knees and clinch, all that stuff. And she landed some good shots on Moroz, and Moroz took him, dude, fought back, took her down, beat her up for 2 rounds. And that was a really good win. She's on a 3-fight win streak. I like Moroz, man. Younger, bigger fighter. I think that there's going to be a lot of grappling in this fight. I think she's going to be the one on top. I think she can get a lot of control time on Maia. Maia has a terrible get-up game. I think that Moroz can clearly win the first 2 rounds and maybe all 3 of them. I don't see a finish in this fight. But yeah, man, I just like Moroz. I think that she's more they both got good boxing. I think Moroz has better boxing, in my opinion, and I think Moroz is going to have the wrestling advantage. But, I mean, Maia is well-rounded, too. But give me Moroz. I think it's going to be a good fight, but I think Moroz can dominate and get a dominant 3-round decision on her. Next fight is in the 125-pound division. We got Zhalgas. God, man, I didn't practice his name at all. Zhalgas Zhumagulov versus Charles Johnson. And yeah, man, this is gonna be a decent scrap down here at 125 at flyweight. You got Zhalgas, Master Z is what we're gonna call him. He's 14-7, currently sitting at plus 140. Then you got Charles Johnson, Inner G, 11-3, currently sitting at minus 165. And this should be a pretty good scrap for the featherweight division. Both these guys are really well-rounded. Master Z, he's got pretty good boxing, throws a lot of overhand rights with some good power, but he's got a decent little movement in and out. He always has good fights with guys, takes them to close decisions with pretty much everybody he fights. But he's well-rounded, a veteran, man. He's got decent wrestling, offensive and defensive. He's got pretty good BJJ. He's really, really tough and durable. He's got a good clinch up against the cage with knees. I thought he beat Jeff Molina in that last fight that he had, which makes me nervous if I wanted to bet Charles Johnson, because I'm going to take Charles Johnson to win. But, I mean, that split to Jeff Molina, I thought he could have won that. And he was piecing up Manel Cape, too, until Manel Cape knocked him out. So, Master Z, and he's got some really good wins, too. If you go look back here before he got in the UFC, he beat Tagir. He beat Tagir Ulanbekov. He beat Ali Bagantinov, who that dude is tough, too. If you don't know who that is, that dude's tough. And I thought he beat Jeff Molina. Charles Energy Johnson, man, you've seen him come in his last fight, had a tough fight with Muhammad Makiev, was just basically clinched and held down for the whole fight. But he's got pretty good Muay Thai striking. He fights out of Tiger Schulman. Good boxing with pro boxing experience. Really nice leg and body kicks. He's always throwing something out. He's got good volume. He's usually, unless he's fighting Makiev, he's got good takedown defense. He can be taken down, but he's got a good get-up game. Very tough and durable. Never been finished in his life. He throws a ton of value. Has a great gas tank. You watch his fight against Carlos Mota, who just fought Cody Durden. He took Mota. I mean, he fought a good, tough fight, and then finally finished him in the 5th round, took him down and beat him up. And it was a good fight. That Mota dude's dangerous, and he looked good throughout. Yeah, man, I just think that he has a way better gas tank. You see right here, he's 5 inches taller with 4 inches of reach. And I just think that he throws way, way more volume than Master Z. And I think that he's going to be able to stop the takedowns. And I think that he's going to have better striking. And what's going to be a pretty close contested fight, because it's almost going to be like point fight, 1-for-1. I'm gonna take Charles Johnson, man. I'm gonna take him, and I'm gonna be looking at the over in this fight, because these are 2 of the most durable people you're gonna find in the fight game. Next fight should be a really good fight. We got Cody Durden versus Rodolfo Vieira. Cody Durden is 8-2, currently sitting at plus 150. Rodolfo Vieira is 8-2, currently sitting at minus 175. This is going to be a good fight. You know, you got a wrestler versus a world jiu-jitsu champion, Cody Brundage. Decent NCAA wrestling. Like, he doesn't seem to. I mean, he got Tresean Gore down for 1 second, gave up. He couldn't get Dolce Lugambula down. Dolce took him down after beating him up into a guillotine. But he's got decent wrestling. He's got decent power in his overhand right, as you've seen it, as Tresean Gore found out. He's got decent power in his leg kicks because he's pretty explosive. Everything he does, he throws power into. He's not going to throw a ton of volume, but he'll back up. And when guys go in to throw their stuff, he explodes with a big shot. And I mean, it's worked for him in a lot of fights. Decent power in his leg kicks, good at going for subs, man. You've seen against Dolce Lugambula. He was going against William Knight on the Contender Series fight before he got reversed and beat up. But he's a very powerful, explosive guy. He's good at backing up, like I said, and then exploding on a guy. He'll have more power in his punches, but I actually think Rodolfo's going to have the better technique, man. He's not that great. He seems to get lucky in his fights. He seemed to get lucky against Tresean Gore. He definitely got lucky against Dolce Lugambula. But he won him, you know what I mean? He had a really close fight with Maximov, but he can be out-grappled. Maximov ended up out-grappling him when he slowed down in that second round, and then William Knight, he took down and was controlling, had him in the mount, was beating him up, and then got reversed, and William Knight got on him and got on top of him and pounded him out. He seems to slow down after 1.5 rounds, but he keeps fighting through it. And striking looks awkward at times. It's just really weird. But Rodolfo Vieira, man, I've been impressed with his striking in his last 2 fights against Stolfus. Even though he lost against Curtis, he put up a really good fight there, showed good cardio, showed really good boxing, man. He was actually hitting Curtis with some really good shots. It was a good back and forth fight. Curtis had to win that 3rd round, and I think Curtis is way better in Brundage. But yeah, Rodolfo, obviously, he has good wrestling. He's strong. He's a big dude. He's strong. He can get to takedown. His jiu-jitsu is world class. And I think he's going to be able to do that here. I think that he's going to be able to take Brundage down like he did Anthony Hernandez and every other guy he's fought except Chris Curtis. And I think that he's got his jiu-jitsu. Anthony Hernandez's jiu-jitsu is phenomenal, dude. You see what he does to other guys in the UFC. So, and he's got great cardio. I think that Rodolfo, though, once he gets Brundage down one time, I think that he's going to be able to submit Brundage. So, I don't know when he'll get him down. He might have to wear him down a little bit with the striking and all that. But give me Rodolfo Vieira by sub, and I don't know if it'll be under 1.5 rounds or not. I'll have to look at all them things, but I like Rodolfo Vieira by sub there. Next fight is in the women's strawweight division. We have Maria Oliveira versus Vanessa Demopolis. Strawweight division. Maria Oliveira is 13-5, currently sitting at -120. Vanessa Demopolis is 8-4, currently sitting at +100. Maria Oliveira, she's got really long, good Muay Thai. You've seen her last fight against Gloria DePaula. Nice long Muay Thai. She throws a ton of kicks. She throws a ton of punches. She throws them punches and combos. She looked a lot better against DePaula than she did against Ricci on short notice. But Tabitha Ricci's a savage. But yeah, 3 of her 5 losses were the time she was 20 years old. She's 25 now, so she's gone on a nice win streak. A lot of these girls, Natalia Silva is the same way. She's 13-5, but like 4 of her losses were by the time she was like 19 or 20 years old. So they were fighting tough people that real young over there in Brazil. But throws a ton of front and side kicks, throws a ton of volume, always pumping the jab. I really like that. Can take a good punch and showed good sub defense against Ricci. Ricci cracked her a ton, dude, and showed a really good sub defense there too, because Ricci took her back, had her down, had her mounted for a while. She has a good variety of strikes, throws, and combos. She's got good flying knees too. I don't suggest she uses them here because she'll probably get taken down. But she has KO power with 8 KOs, but she only has 1 in her last 4 fights. She can be taken down. If she gets taken down, she does not have a good get-up game, but she can survive. She just stays down if she gets taken down. She's very, very hittable, but she takes them well, man. But she'll take one to give you a couple too. Vanessa Demopolis, man. I don't know. It's hard to get a good read on her, man. I bet Gomez Juarez knocked her head off, followed her down, got armbarred. Vanessa Demopolis is a black belt in jiu-jitsu with really good arm bars and triangles off her back. She just doesn't have really good wrestling to get it there. Sometimes she'll show good timing on her takedowns, but for the most part, you know, she just doesn't have really good wrestling. She showed it against Jinu Frey, couldn't even get her down. And she's going to be small here. You see, she's 5'2" to 5'6". So Oliveira is going to have 4 inches of height and 7 inches of reach. And if this fight stays standing, man, I got to favor Oliveira all day. And I just don't know if Vanessa Demopolis is going to get this fight down enough. She may be able to land like 1 takedown in the first round, but I think after that, Oliveira will be able to stuff him and be able to win that second and third. And I know it looked like some money was coming in on Demopolis, but I'm going to go with Oliveira. I'm going to take her by decision, but I'm going to say, man, stay away from this fight. It's just, who knows? And honestly, it's kind of like almost like, who cares, you know? Next fight is in the men's bantamweight division. We got Ricky Turcios versus the dude, Kevin Natividad. Ricky Turcios, man, good awkward strike. He's 11-3, currently sitting at -150. I'm sorry about that. Kevin Natividad, 9-3, currently sitting at +125. You see here, Turcios is going to have 3 inches of height, 2 inches of reach advantage, and they're both basically the same age. But yeah, man, Ricky Turcios, he's a volume striker, throws a lot of high-yas, throws a lot of kicks and punches. Normally fights with a chaotic pace, but he didn't against Zahabi. I don't know if it was nerves or what happened, but against Ayman Zahabi, he just didn't fight like he usually does. He's really good at scrambles, really good at taking the back because he can be taken down, but he has a really good jiu-jitsu in scrambles, man. You've seen in that Hiestand fight, man. They were going back and forth. He's good at not accepting the bottom, and that wears guys out. He's got excellent cardio and toughness. He's good at throwing a ton of punches in combo to pressure guys and can throw like 7, 8 punches and go off if he wants to. Good variety of kicks to everywhere in the body, legs, body, head. And he's good, man. He's just got to put it together. But he can be taken down. He took 2 hard shots from Zahabi and didn't want to engage after that. And basically, Caitlin Chukagian fought, was just kicking air the whole fight. His only good wins, though, are Hiestand and Garcia. He beat Steve Garcia back in the day. But he doesn't seem all that dangerous. But that is still going to be enough to beat Kevin Natividad. Because, man, I watched this guy's tape, and he's got a decent overhand right. He's got a decent leg kick. Pretty good takedown defense, which that's not really going to be an effect here. And I'm just going to be honest. He does not seem like a very good fighter at all. He's been KO'd bad in his last 2 fights. He got knocked out cold by Dana Bakhtara. He got knocked out really bad cold by Miles Johns. And before that, I mean, you see his record. He's fighting guys 10-5, 7-7, 2-1, 8-7, 0-1, 3-2, 4-6, 0-0. Like he just. And just watching him, he's slow. He's going to be at a major speed disadvantage, a size disadvantage. He's got a terrible level of comp, slow, weird striking, very, very hittable, KO bad in all of his 3 losses. And he got knocked out, one time outside of UFC in like 9 seconds. But give me Ricky Turcios. I think he bounces back. I think he's got the nerves taken care of, and I think he gets this win. He looked good on the Ultimate Fighter, and I think that he's definitely going to be able to get this win. So give me Ricky Turcios by dominant decision, or maybe he catches him at some point in the fight because Natividad's chin may be gone. Next fight is going to be a good one, man. We got Cutilaba. What's going on here? We got Cutilaba. They moved this up to the co-main event, but not when I was doing this. So we got Cutilaba versus Kennedy Nzeckukwo. Cutilaba is 16-8-1, currently sitting at +145, and Kennedy is 10-3, currently sitting at -170. And man, Cutilaba, this dude's a savage. He comes out in that first round, goes hard, throws elbows in the clinch, throws big, powerful overhand rights, left hooks with power, goes for the takedown, can get people down and ground and pound them if he can keep them down, but he doesn't have the best jiu-jitsu, so he's really just goons people like he did to Khalil Roundtree. I'm actually happy that he beat Khalil Roundtree like that now and pounded him out with elbows after the robbery. But I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do. But yeah, man, give me like with Cutilaba, he just goes so hard in the first round that he gasses out. He's just very dangerous in the first round with strikes, ground and pound, excellent elbows in the clinch, ground and pound, very fast right hand. With KO power, and he usually goes crazy on guys and gets them out of there, or he loses. He fought tough against Dustin Jacoby, but Dustin Jacoby usually ain't a knockout guy. But gasses after 1 round, doesn't have good BJJ to hold guys down. He's been finished 6 times out of his 8 losses, and he's 2-5 over his last 7. Granted, 2 of them were against Ankalaev. Kennedy Nzeckukwo, man, who knows what you're going to get with this guy too. He usually fights good, but then sometimes he doesn't. Like Dawoon Jung came out slow, got pieced up and knocked out right away. He comes out real slow and lethargic sometimes, like against Carlos Ulberg, who beat the crap out of him for a while. Danilo Marquez beat him up for 2 rounds. Then he got him in the 3rd round with Danilo gassed out. Yeah, against Jung, that could happen to anybody. Against Nicolau, I thought he beat him, but he should have beat him up way worse than that if he just had more volume. You've seen what Ulberg just did to him, and then he knocked out Ulberg. He has the power. He just sometimes don't use it. Then he comes out against Coral Robertson right here, takes him down, Kennedy and Nurmagomedov did, man. It was a really, really good showing. So I don't think he's going to do that here. He could, though, once Ian gasses out. If Ian comes out and just keeps trying to take him down like he's going to have to and gasses out, Kennedy and Nzeckukwo is going to finish him. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Kennedy survives a really crazy first round where Ian comes out, goes for the finish. And then I think Kennedy actually maybe by the second round he's able to land some shots. Ian takes a bad shot. Kennedy reverses him and he can ground and pound out Ian. But I don't know, his submission skills and stuff look pretty terrible against Robertson, but his elbows look phenomenal. But I'm going to take Kennedy and Nzeckukwo by third round finish when Ian is completely gassed out. I'm going to stay away from this fight though, just because Ian could easily come out here and catch Kennedy while Kennedy's still starting slow and isn't on top of his game, you know what I mean? Because he starts slow. People take off on him. So give me Kennedy, but he better stay safe. Next fight's definitely going to be good, man. We got Muslim Salikov versus Andre Fiallo. Muslim Salikov is 18-3, currently sitting at -130. Andre Fiallo is 16-5, currently sitting at +110. And first off, you got to see the age difference, 10-year age difference. Muslim's 38 years old, where Andre is only 28 years old. And everything else, I mean, Andre is going to have a 4.5-inch reach advantage and a 1-inch height advantage. And yeah, man, this is going to be a crazy striking match. I mean, Muslim could take him down, but I think that gasses him out. As you've seen in his last fight against Zhang Liang, he actually took him down, but he slowed down a lot in that second. But Zhang Liang is a lot better than Andre Fiallo. Muslim Salikov, king of Kung Fu. He's got really good striking, Kung Fu kickboxing, Sando. Excellent spinning kicks and spinning back fists. He's got pretty good wrestling. He's a Dagestan guy. He's from Dagestan, but he's more of a kickboxer, striking guy. He's got excellent power, 13 KOs and 18 wins. Really good boxing with KO power in his right hand. Really good feints and counters. He draws guys in and then counters them with big shots. Excellent body kicks and head kicks, man. He was hitting. It's not like he just got ran over by Jing Liang, man. He had a good first round, came out, and he just got caught in the second, man. He's 38 years old. He's definitely slowing down a little bit. His cardio's starting to slow down a little bit. He can be low output, and he really doesn't use a jab. He's just trying to move, catch you coming in, hit you with a big shot. And that just might be enough for Andre Fiallo because he's got really good boxing with fast hands, nice jab with some pop, excellent at backing guys up and then just throwing bombs at both hands when he's got backed up against the cage. Did really good at walking Michel Pereira down, putting pressure on him to try and gas him out. And Michel Pereira and Muslim Salikov kind of fight the same with a ton of movements, kickboxing with like flashy movements and stuff. So that could be a blueprint to this fight. But yeah, man, he's got really nice KO power in his left hook. And that's pretty much what he's got, man. I'm not impressed with Andre Fiallo. He got hurt by Cameron Van Camp. His last fight, he literally made Jake he made Jake Matthews look like Anderson Silva out there with the hands, or whoever you like that's good with the hands, he made him look like, because Jake Matthews beat the shit out of him for that hole. He hurt him like 3 times before he even finished him. Van Camp had him hurt for a second. He got hurt by Mageza, but then put Baeza out. But Baeza, he just gets sloppy in fights. But yeah, man, I actually think that I know the line was changing on this too, but I actually think Muslim Salikov gets the win here. I think that he's got the better striking, and as long as he don't get caught with that left hook, he can win rounds in this fight. And Fiallo slows down. Fiallo rushes in with the strikes. That's how Jake Matthews was countering him and piecing him up. And I think Salikov can do the same thing. Yeah, Salikov got knocked out by Zhang Liang in that last fight, but look, before that, he had a nice win streak going on. He has a win over Zaleski dos Santos. That says something. That was 2 years, about a little over 2 years ago, but still win over Francisco Trinado. I got Francisco Trinado over Andre Fiallo every day of the week, twice on Sunday. So, yeah, man, give me Muslim Salikov in a very, very good back and forth fight. We are to the main event. We have Derrick, the Black Beast Lewis versus Sergey, this polar bear Spivak. Derrick Lewis is 26-10, currently sitting at +150. Sergey Spivak is 15-3, currently sitting at -175. And you see the biggest discrepancy, almost exactly a 10-year age disadvantage for Derrick Lewis. They're both pretty much the same size, same height, same reach. We know Derrick Lewis, man, good boxing, KO power, super dangerous, has that left hand or right hand that just murders people. You've seen it with Dawkins, Blades, everybody. He's got a decent head kick when he switches to southpaw. Excellent ground and pound if he can get on top. Um, he gets backed up against the cage too easy for my liking, though. He likes to back up and then counter people when they come in. But when he does that, that's going to give Sergey time to smash him up against cage, get his body locks, and get the takedowns. But I don't know if this little cage is going to help Spivak or Lewis. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure, has this little cage, if anybody knows, tell me in the comments if this little cage, you think it's been helping or hurting these big punchers, big strikers, or the big wrestlers. Because like Derrick Lewis, when he fought Chris Dawkins, man, that cage looked really small. Chris Dawkins had nowhere to go, and got knocked out pretty quick for it. But Sergey, it might help him being able to smash Lewis up against the cage, get him up against the cage easier, hit him with them hip toss takedowns. But yeah, man, Lewis is almost 38 years old. He's been finished in 3 of his last 4 losses. He's been looking way chubbier in his last two fights too, man. I feel like he's a little out of shape. He looked a little tired against Tai Tuivasa when he got finished. He got finished quick against Pavlovich. But yeah, man, he's just getting older, and I don't know how much his heart's still in it. He didn't used to train that much anyways. Now that he ain't going on no title runs, maybe he's just doing it for money, to be honest, because I just don't think he's been looking good at all, man. Sergey Spivak, really good wrestling. His hip toss takedowns are phenomenal. He's got good body lock takedowns. You've seen him picking up Greg Hardy and body lock, slamming him down. He hip tossed him down. He's got good trip takedowns, excellent ground and pound and submissions. He's got 13 finishes out of his 15 wins, all of them under 3 rounds. He's got serviceable striking to get him into the clinch for takedowns. Lewis's last 6 fights have gone under 3, and all of Spivak's wins, all of his 13 finishes, have gone under 3. So I would take the under 2.5. I know it's probably going to start at 1.5, but I would be looking at the under 2.5, and I would take Sergey Spivak, man. The only thing I don't like about Spivak is he only weighs 250 pounds, and he's been KO'd 2 times in his career really fast in the first round by big, heavy strikers just like this. So he's going to have to be careful. But I think that, he obviously knows that, and I think that's going to have him use his wrestling even sooner. He's not going to be out there messing around with Lewis. He's just got to hope that he does not get hit with that Curtis Blades uppercut that sent him to the moon. So I'm actually going to take Sergey Spivak. I'm going to take him either in the 2nd round finish or early in the 3rd round finish. I think Derrick Lewis gets gassed from all the wrestling in the 1st round, and Sergey gets him down in the 2nd like he did Augusto Sakai, and starts beating him up in that 2nd and gets the finish. I'm not going to be betting this fight. I might look at the under if I can get a decent line at the under 2.5. But as far as, I want to stay away from the money line just because Sergey can come out there and get sparked by Derrick Lewis. I hate betting these kind of heavyweights, and you bet a bunch on Spivak, and then all of a sudden he just gets sparked. So I would be looking at the over-under, and I would like the 2.5 or more on that one because it's a 5-round fight, and there's no way that this goes 5 rounds. So yeah, man, give me Sergey Spivak, and I got him by TKO. Appreciate everybody watching this, watching my show, hanging out with me. Like we've been on a winning streak. We're going to keep that going into this little break, get this week off. Everybody gets to spend time with their family, have a great time. But yeah, man, as always, I appreciate all you guys, all the support. Hit me up with some good comments and stuff. Help my algorithm out. And yeah, man, look on Instagram tomorrow at 4 in the afternoon. You'll get around 4 when I get up. You'll get my first bet. Appreciate all you guys. I will see you guys Wednesday night on Johnny K Picks for our live show, man.